Thank you. So I was probably about 5 years old the first time one of my family members coached me with the phrase, "If anyone asks, you're not black." So I grew up in Vidor, Texas, if any of you guys are familiar. Population African American, 0.01. And so how did I get there? So my father, who adopted me, was a gay white man who managed a bar off of Montrose. And he had a woman come in one night who was pregnant and decided that she didn't want her child. I can't make this up. And he decided, "I really want your child." He ended up with me. And so he got sick when I was a baby, and his parents were from Vidor, Texas, and I ended up with them. So at that point, when I moved to Vidor, Texas, my disguise was then put on as a white girl just to fit in, not only for me, but also for the family. So I wasn't the only one who had to play into this mask. You know, I remember going to the beach and my aunts just putting on layers and layers of that Johnson & Johnson sunscreen, you know, the one with the little girl and the dog's getting her bathing suit. And my aunts would say, "Don't let her get any darker." So, you know, everyone played into this mask, and it didn't really hurt anyone besides myself until the first grade. So in the first grade, I had an interaction that displays the most shameful moment of my entire life. So I went to a school, I told you guys I grew up in Vidor, predominantly white school, and I had to fit in, you know, with my white girl crew that I had, and this one Hispanic girl enrolled in our school, and I remember the first day that she showed up. She saw me and her eyes lit up. She immediately connected with me. She wanted to connect with me. I denied the connection. It's almost like I had this story going on. It's almost like I felt if my friends see me playing with this other minority girl that, you know, she'll blow my cover. So I didn't want to be the other minority playing with her, so I just wasn't warm. This went on for weeks until one day we were playing at recess on the playground, and I had went up to the wooden fort in the middle of the playground, and she was following me. I remember exactly what she was wearing. She had on a blue lacy dress. She had on socks that had the little ruffles around them with a cute bow in her hair. As she was following me up the fort, I looked down, I rolled my eyes, thinking, why is this girl always trying to get close to me? And so we're standing in line for the slide, and I thought, okay. So I pretended to let her go in front of me. And I said, okay, yeah, you go on the slide first. So she's all excited and happy. And as she bends down to slide down the slide, she puts both of her hands back. As she does this, I lift my foot and I stomp on her fingers. She looks at me in the face, and I tell her, "Stop following me." In that moment, her big brown eyes welled up with tears. She looked at me with a face that I will never forget for the rest of my life. It was heartbreaking. She pulled her hand from under my foot. She quickly slid down the slide and she ran off. That young Hispanic girl probably moved away. I think her family moved a few weeks later. I never saw or heard from her ever again. And so at that moment, what I realized is me not being able to embrace myself, my disguise was hurting her and who she truly was. So with that, with my baby girl in my stomach, what I vow is that I will never make her feel that she has to put on a disguise or that she has to hurt other people, and I want her to be unapologetically herself. Thank you.